Hey guys, Reclaimer Wolf here, and welcome to another exotic review. Today's exotic review is going to be a little bit different than the other ones, because usually exotic reviews we do one weapon, or we do like a couple similar weapons and like compare and contrast. Today we're going to be doing 4 weapons, so I figured that we would want to show them off a little first. We'll play a game for each, see if we can get some things going. The ones that have catalysts I have gotten and leveled up for this, so they will have a little bit bonuses, but should be sort of the same weapons. So we're going to start out with Coldheart. You got this as a pre-order for base Destiny 2 back in 2017. I think it can still drop from anywhere now. Its main perk, this weapon shoots a steady cold fusion powered laser. So its main perk was kind of just, hey, this is a trace rifle. But it has a trait. Coldheart's laser does exponentially more damage the longer it remains on a target. So it's good for boss damage. I mean, it's not. Obviously, there's better things. Xenophage, Divinity, something else, things like that. But it excels at boss damage instead of like just quick TTKs. And here's it without the ornament. We're going to be using the ornament, and we're going to be using this today. Now, the catalyst does give it a little bit more stability. It's already pretty stable, pretty decent range. It's going to give it a little more reload speed. The good thing about reload speed for this is they don't have a whole lot of ammo that drops and that you can pick up. I'm running the scavenger so that we can hopefully have more ammo consistently and be able to use it a lot more. But trace rifles, they were in a bad spot a few months ago, a few metas ago, because you would pick up a brick and do like 7 shots, 10 shots, and you couldn't really kill anything in that time. Whereas snipers would get 2, 3, 4 shots, shotguns 2, 3, 4, and you could get 4 kills with 4 shots. So they kind of had to change around trace rifles, and they changed them around, and they're still not that potent. People have been using autos, obviously, so that kind of took focus away from trace rifles. Well, overall, we'll be covering Coldheart today. We'll be going in chronological order when they came out. So Coldheart came out at base, Prometheus Lens with Curse of Osiris, Wave Splitter came out in Forsaken, only recently available on Xbox and PC, that's Shadowkeep, and then Divinity, which came out in Shadowkeep with Season of the Undying. So we will be pairing that with the Thunder Crash, Code of the Missile, so we can maybe get Inertia procced and do a little bit more damage. And hopefully we'll just be able to see how that goes. I couldn't really equip any mods. I've got Scatter. I don't think that affects this since it's more precision. Things like that. But we have a special ammo scavenger, so that'll help. At least help us get more ammo. And hopefully we'll be able to get some things working. I don't want to use spare rations a whole lot because this is a trace rifle review, but I have a feeling we're going to run out of ammo pretty quick. So we might need to switch up and use primary heavy, just see if we can get some ammo. I guess we could talk about, it's got enhanced battery, so the magazine's 101. They're all pretty close to that, so it's like kind of whatever, but 101. Increased range, decreased handling, moderately controlled recoil, and then it's just got more recoil control, so it's pretty stable. I find that I can't really use it at ranges, or at least in Crucible, just because it doesn't feel real sticky. Now, it has been a while, maybe they changed it up, but I remember thinking that for trace rifles to be good, they needed to have some big focus given to range, maybe impact, things like that. Obviously, if they were to adjust it too much, it'd be busted, kind of like how I feel Hardlight is now, but I think work can be done, I think. Let's go ahead and verify that in these next few games. So we got Fragment, that's a pretty good map for... I'd say it's got some close and short range engagements, so hopefully we won't get shotgun rushed a ton.
Supremacy.
One thing to note about these trace rifles is they are special ammo weapons. So you do have to rely on those pickups. Every life you will spawn with more, but if you're not getting special ammo, you're not using the weapons. And that's another thing that's kind of a problem.
Your opponent.
Is they have the TTK of some autos, but they don't have the ammo. So I think we should play this far lane. Oh, nice. Who's the guy hugging me? He's like, hey, by the way, let me hold you in place while you get on there. got a flank spawn, that's pretty good. Let's see if we can sneak up behind some kids. Okay, so it did a lot of damage. You hit a crit, it does a ton of damage. Switching targets, you're burning ammo as you shoot it. You respawn with the 50, but you don't have a lot to go around to begin with. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So it's hitting 18 a crit from pretty good range. That's quite a bit of damage. We shredded that guy. Oh, this guy got a shot.
You shut the enemy down.
Just team shot. Okay, so we broke shields. I don't know how much ammo that used, but I think if you're below like 15 shots, you're not gonna get the kill, unless you've got like a damage boost or something. That's that. Okay, it's got some TTK. It's actually better than I remembered. It's doing pretty good damage. Now, of course, gnawing hunger, autos, and that archetype, they're gonna basically beat us out any 1v1 point. But if you get first shot off, stick to targets. Okay, yeah, we traded with a thorn. I mean, that's not awful. And it's one thing to know, these weapons are all probably a lot better in PvE. You know, certain activities, Divinity especially, is fantastic for PvE. And they all kind of excel at different things.
Double down.
Okay, yeah, this thing has range. Crazy range.
That's why we have fire team.
Ammo, those we can bust out the spare rations. Shot. We got some ammo. Good.
Tell them to line up.
Okay, we almost killed that guy.
I like your tactic.
Okay.
Glory is yours.
That guy was supposed to die. He ran out of ammo there. Sorry, spare rations. Okay, those 40 shots. That Warlock melee, he's got so much range. He's a good player. He knows what he's doing. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that's switching targets. You got a problem there because you can't. I tried to get him some ammo. Wanted that crest. DOS. Alright, Inertia. Okay, yeah, Inertia just shredded that guy.
You're in the lead.
Shot.
Lead is
He's already
lost.
got a super. That's crazy.
Battle is still close.
I wonder if on supers if it does anything, because you get that sustained damage. You have to have a lot of ammo to make it count, I feel like.
Double down.
Pretty decent slam. Okay. Ah, there were just too many of them. In over our heads. Let's see if we can do something. Yeah, it does damage. It's crazy how much damage it does. Let's go, dude. Let's get team shot by everybody in the lobby. That's sick. I feel like I'm not getting ammo, even when I'm picking it up. Either my teammates are just always a step ahead, or I'm really
That
bad.
shut them down. Double down.
I had missed that. Oh, he still killed me before.
5
Was I
minutes.
one hit?
The enemy has gained ground,
Noticed.
but it's not over.
That sucked. Yeah, it's got a TTK and a half, dude. It's pretty good. Obviously, I think there's Yeah, autos in general, just right now. If you get a first shot off, you can sometimes beat him, but if you're both hitting shots with your weapons, autos will win every time. That's kind of what I'm at now. It doesn't feel skillful anymore. You don't need to hit a snipe if you have an auto rifle. Okay, I lied. It's got range. It's got crazy range. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's got some good flick. That's fun. The only bad thing is you're so low on ammo that when you're just like holding down switching targets, you're just wasting ammo in the air. So that could be a problem. Who's pushing me? Who is behind me and to my left? You, sir. I'm not going to say your name, but you doomed me. You prevented me from reaching my peak of getting maybe one. I guess we could talk about the catalyst. It does take 500 PvE kills to unlock the catalyst. I just loaded up Whisper and just sat in the back.
3 minutes remain.
If you just do it that way. Oh, can we outgun that guy? Absolute. Yeah, there we go. This guy. I can use a shotgun in 2020. We're getting a little too tilted here. It's a single shotgun user. It's just I just want to get a good kill with Cold Heart. Is there a reason? Do I have a magnet or like a shirt that says, "Hey, please crowd around me"? I hit rock. That's a shame. Okay, that was a bad super or a bad situation. Okay, do they have like Dawnbreak Scavenger? I don't get it. Daybreak Scavenger? Dawnblade? Oh wow, okay, that hit like a truck. We just DDoSed that guy. Holy crap.
Defeat
Okay, yeah.
comes for us all.
Pretty decent against supers. The problem with this kind of review style is we're not going to be able to really scratch the surface of these weapons, but a little taste. That was good. Cold Heart can hold its own.
Don't let
I wouldn't
this
load up
discourage
into
you.
like trials with
Fight
it
hard
unless you're
and
really
glory
confident.
will be
You've got a
yours
build built
again.
around it. We got 27 kills. That's not bad. These two were using shotguns and autos the whole game, and we kind of were up there. That's pretty good. I'll take it. So we're gonna swap over to Prometheus Lens while we find a new game. We'll talk about it. I will take this time to say this is on Twitch currently right now. If you are watching this on YouTube, I will upload it later. Feel free to comment what weapons you want to see next. If you're enjoying the stream, any suggestions, things like that. So let's get into Prometheus Lens. So Prometheus Lens' intrinsic trait fires a solar trace beam and generates a damaging heat field that grows while the weapon continues to fire. So back in 2018, I believe, when this came out, it was bugged for a weekend, and it was doing so much damage with this damaging heat field that it one-tapped. It quite literally one-tapped. And it was crazy. It was like laser tag for a weekend, and Xur sold it. And it was, you get an emblem if you play during that time and experienced it. It was pretty fun. It was enraging if you didn't have Prometheus Lens, but if you did, it was a lot of fun. Since then, they've nerfed it, of course, it doesn't one-tap. But it still has that damaging heat field, and it kind of gives like a AoE like light show kind of. It's kind of cool. And it gets bigger while the weapon continues to fire. Back when you could pair this with Actium War Rig or like Rally Barricades, you could get that field up really big because you were just kept holding down the trigger. So it has stability, handling, things like that. Increased range, and then more handling, things like that. This does have the catalyst, so it has a bump in stability and a buff in handling. It's got less range than Cold Heart, I want to say, but it's still kind of up there. Now its trait here. Kills with this weapon return a fraction of the ammo used to the magazine from reserves, extending the beam's duration. So if you're just holding down the trigger and say PvE, you kill 3 dregs, you're going to get 3 like ammo back not 3 ammo, but it'll be like 5 shots, 7 shots, 10 shots, and you'll just keep getting ammo back for each kill. Doesn't really come into effect in Crucible because you're not getting kill after kill after kill because you don't have a whole lot of ammo, and it is from reserves, so you're not going to be taking advantage of it too much. But if you have some reserves, you can maybe get it to proc. I guess we'll see. Hopefully you can get a good close range map. And maybe it'd be fun to try one of these with weapons. I don't know. I think Inertia was nice to get that instant reload, but let's go ahead and try it. Let's try Weapons of Light, see if we can get some increased damage going. Cashing some bounties. Don't know why I still care, but I do. And yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of trace rifles in a long time. They were good at like a week, and then they nerf them, and then they're good again, and then they nerf them. So it's kind of on and off. Obviously I don't think this is a good meta right now for him, but I don't know. If Cold Heart's anything to say, it was pretty good. We are using the ornament, default, looks like that. Not a fan of the yellow, but I know a lot of people like the clean aesthetic. There is a third one that won't load, but it's got some different textures on it. I like the gold one personally. I think it looks the best. But anyway, so yeah, as with Cold Heart, the catalyst took, well, we're at 360. I must have used this in Crucible quite a bit because I want to say it's just 500 kills in PvE again. And Crucible kills decrease that time. If you're getting Guardian kills, it requires less than total. So that's always nice if you want to farm out catalysts with a really good gun, something like Ace of Spades. I'm trying to think, what else is there? Heavy weapons sometimes if you're running out of heavy ammo. You can snag it. Endless Veil, that's a good map for this, I'd say. It's got some close quarters, you might be able to get more targets with that heat field. I think we can make this work. Hopefully
Clash.
we go up against some bad players. I didn't back us out, so we might be getting the same people. Little sweaty. I don't know, dude. Skill-based matchmaking, it makes every game feel sweaty now. I'm over here trying to use trace rifles in 2020, and we're getting people running Thorn and Hard Light, Gnawing Hunger. That kid from last stream with the sidearm router combination. Utter sweats, dude. I'm out here just trying to get...
Defeat your enemy. That's all I ask.
Alright, let's see what we can do. Pull it out. Looks pretty good. Sight's nice and clean. Spawn with the same amount of shots. Definitely. We got a suppression. Is that a shotgun user? Okay, so it's got a similar TTK to, I'd say, Cold Heart. Did that pretty hard. Oh, I wanted the ammo. Don't kill me. Did he just ricochet around me with smugglers? That was weird. I don't think I was there when I died, but okay. Yeah, it's got some... I lied, maybe. It seems situational. It kind of has some range. I wouldn't say good range. It seems to have a little range. Oh, we just deleted that kid. I think it must have been a team shot because it was like one crit and it broke him. Let's see if we can get a life. Push me with all these Prometheus lens. We kind of need to stick to these close mid-range engagements like this right here. Yeah, that's what this was made for. Okay, we almost got two, and I think the heat field, you can kind of see it start to pick up. It just kind of grows around where you're hitting, so if you're hitting a headshot, I want to say it used to flinch pretty bad because of that heat field. Now I'm not so sure, but we're dead. That was a bad peek. Again, auto rifles are just so much better. They've got the ammo over it, they've got the range, the stability, they can run with perks and mods. It's it's just hard to want to use anything else. I want to get this guy, but I think we're gonna need to push. Hey, yeah, that's got a good TTK. I'm like, yes. Okay, we got the reload there, 38. I don't know if you saw that. Quick. Yeah, it can hold its own. I must flinch pretty hard because we're hitting people that are trying to snipe. I guess it is consoles, so they might not be good at sniping. It seems to kind of, if you get the first shot on, that's a lost fight right there.
Your opponents are pulling away. Drag them back.
And I put on lions to kind of maybe get like a cool area of like jumping and shooting, but I don't. Oh, okay, it doesn't hit from that range. Back in a little. If we team shot, he can't kill us all. He's gonna kill us all. You got him. We're running. You got that. You can see the sniper glint right under my slide. That's unfortunate. Good snipe. Alright, we're gonna slide here, see if we can get some auto rifles, dude. Breakneck. It's not even a good auto. Man, I don't even think he had a rampage or anything. Oh, we do have weapons though, so maybe we can secure mid here. Okay, we got mid. I'm curious, let's what our health regen. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, weapons helps a lot. As it should be, but still. Gotta get bubble. Wait, I got greedy. We almost had him. I think if a couple more of those were crits, I thought he didn't like really want to fight us. I was wrong. And I think you have to be hitting your target to get the AoE. I don't think it's just spammable. Which I guess would be busted. You can just predict fire people. Oh, we ran out of ammo. It's crazy.
5 minutes.
Oh, he slid into me? You wanted that kill that bad. Okay. Look, man, if you need shotgun kills, just tell me. Just let me know. Are you gonna die to this guy? Because I look like a bit of me. Let's go. Oh, who are you? Traded? You shouldn't have traded that. ADS too much. I don't know, it kills pretty close. Or like up close. Pretty potent. Pretty good at sword range. Nice. Bro, I'm using Prometheus lens. I'm not a threat to you. We can coexist. You don't need to solo striker me, but there's no need for this. Kind of something. Oh, we ran out of ammo. If we had one more shot, that would have killed him. Look, dude, just because you're using an off-meta auto doesn't mean it's not. Okay, yeah, that shreds. That's good.
Shut the enemy down.
Traded. I think Cold Heart feels a little easier to use and it hits a little harder, but Prometheus Lens is able to like smoothly snag up those kills if you're having a problem like that. Okay, just gonna
3 minutes left.
Why does everybody want me? Using Prometheus Lens, guy. Hits me with a shock. Let's see. We got the ammo. We're gonna back out. Challenge. Challenge slide. We're challenging. Jumping. Challenge. We ran out of ammo. We're running. We're gonna die to that guy. We're still running. Why am I still alive? We're still running. One hit melee'd me. Let's go. I feel like our team is like sitting in spawn waiting to get collapsed on. Nice ward cliff. Nice, we almost survived the ward cliff and killed him. You know, we're losing all these games by a lot. But are we having fun? No, because we're not using autos. Kill him. Oh, can you get all this ammo? I almost have bubbles. Get it down. Okay, good. That grenade go away. There we go. Okay, we've got a ton of reserves, so you'll be able to see this kill recon. Oh, sorry. I apologize. The inner accuracy, this thing is sick. Console. This guy, he's the king of one hits.
1 minute left.
I think you'd have to be crazy to use Tracer. I'm not saying it couldn't work, but I'm just saying it's not good. I don't know. Like, it's got some TTK. We've got one shot. Let's see if we can body someone. Oh, look, it's Tommy one hit again. Let's go. Ooh, that was a good crash. Oh, that was a great crash. Am I going to spawn there? Oh, if we hadn't just lost right there. That was a seventh column waiting to happen.
Every battle has a consequence.
Okay, so Prometheus lens.
Sometimes
Sum up. Pretty good. Not great. Has decent range, kind of like Coldheart. Coldheart seems a little easier to control. That might be the boost in stability. And it seems more just crisp, whereas Prometheus lens seems to be more like quick cleanup. I don't really know how to describe it. You might just want to play with it yourself. Both of them can drop just from exotic drops, so if you don't already have it, which you might, because they're both 2017, 2018, you can just pick it up from Xur maybe. So next we'll be using Wave Splitter. Now Wave Splitter was a PlayStation exclusive throughout all of Forsaken, and then they brought it out for Xbox and PC during Shadowkeep. So not a whole lot of Xbox players have experience with Wave Splitter, but it's definitely potent. I've seen more Wave Splitters than Prometheus Lens or Coldhearts. So we have Harmonic Laser. Laser damage has 3 power levels that oscillate while the trigger's held down. So you're holding down the trigger, you hit someone for 30, 40, 50, 20, 30, 40, 50, 20. Oh, 3 power levels, okay. 30, 40, 50, 30, 40, 50. And it just keeps going like that. Changing while you shoot. This one has more stability, bigger mag, more stability. So it's got max stability, nearly max range. It's got barely any handling or reload. The good thing is handling, we're basically just going to have this out the whole time. Reload, we don't get ammo. Got him. So, Supercharged Battery, the last perk. Collecting an Orb of Light, so multi-kills, super, things like that. Collecting an Orb of Light grants a short period of maximum power that starts with an automatic reload. So you pick up an Orb of Light, reload your weapon from reserves, you now have a full mag of 100, and it does that tier 3 damage for a short time. Now, I don't know how much we're going to be taking of that to like actuality, because Orbs of Light, Crucible, not really a thing. They are, but not as much as PvE where you can just pump them out. And reloading that, we won't really take as big of an advantage from that because we probably won't have mag reserves. I think we should switch to Code of the Missile for those reloads. Weapons was crazy good, but at the same time it seems like we're putting ourselves in a disadvantage when we can be able to just take advantage of all the arc subclass abilities at one point. So I think we'll do that. Now, this weapon also drops just from any exotic activity. I believe now it does. On PlayStation, it does. Xbox and PC, it should just drop from anything. There is not a catalyst for this, and there is not an ornament for this. So what you see is what you get right here. It does have a lore tab, I guess. That's cool, if you like lore. Let's see what we got. Wormhaven. That's not bad. We're getting diverse maps. I like it. Kind of get to see what works, what doesn't on what map. Hopefully we'll be able to get some good angles on people. And I don't know, I don't think we kind of got to see it at the end of that last game on Endless Vale. Lion Rampants and Trace Rifles, they're not friends. So we'll probably avoid wasting ammo like that again. I guess it could work. It's good for abilities. And we are running the scavenger on it.
Show your enemy this place belongs to you now.
Right.
Take the zone.
Now this weapon does look really cool. It's got the cool 3 vial things on the side. I'm gonna cap the point because I'm needing a bounty. It's got a different kind of ADS, but it's got that cool wave fluctuating. And I'm gonna, when we shoot this thing, see if you can notice it changes with it. Okay. This one's smaller. You can kind of feel it. It feels like Prometheus lens. You're shooting a big, long, like, beam. This one's definitely feels more pinpoint. So we'll
enemy claimed Zone
Gotta be
B.
precise with this.
You captured Zone A. You have zone advantage.
And we got shotgun rushed.
Gains the lead. Zone
Okay,
C
so
lost.
yeah, it hits pretty hard. King of One Hits switch to Birdlight. Was that him? I don't remember his name. Oh no, he's on the enemy team still.
Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours.
We got a range here. Hey bud, nice auto. Where you at? Got him. Okay, yeah, it's got some range. This one feels the best so far. Ah, I didn't see you. Yeah, this one feels the most clean, the most actually lethal of the 3. It's got some good recoil. It's got some good range. You're able to just sit there and just pump it, which is nice. Oh my gosh. Why am I still burning? Dragon Go in there, you distract, bait out the shotgun. I'll sit here and look good at the game. I wonder if you could run this with Antaeus. I don't know why you would, but probably could.
Your advantage grows. Stay strong. Zone A lost.
Yeah, okay, we
Zone
got it right
C
there. We got the
captured.
oscillating.
You have zone advantage. Crazy
damage. No! No! I thought we ran out of ammo, so I stopped.
That's why we have
That
fire
ammo,
team.
okay, thank you. This ammo.
This is
We got
wonderful.
inertia with the oscillating, that was nice. That was really nice. Yeah, challenge that guy. Oh my Tommies. Did he kill the teammate too? The teammate had him absolute, so I was like, I'll help. Let's hit this outside area so we can get a pick. Don't see anybody. Oh, we got this, we got this. Yeah, we got that. One thing I'm noticing is you've kind of just got to rely. You gotta commit to these fights. If you're going in, you're going in whether you die or not. And I think that can be said of a lot of low TTK weapons. Or I mean high TTK, bad weapons. You need to rely on them. Just sit and hope that they do stuff. That's not what we wanted.
Is on. Finish it.
Kill, we're patting that Katie. That's fine. Curious to know in PvE, because I haven't used this in PvE at all. The other weapons, you know, you gotta get the catalyst upgraded, things like that, but PvE for this thing, I wonder if it would be any good. Let's reload. Oh, I didn't even see that guy. Was he crouched? That's bold. Didn't think that was gonna end well for you. Tap fire my Suros on this guy with a sniper. Come on, come on. Oh, come on, come on. The king of one hits, dude. I have not died to this guy's weapon if he's not using a one hit. I also find that I bait out a lot of Suros. Unintentionally. I'm just in a gunfight. People are like, let's just striker him. He looks like it. And we got him in a half. It's hard light at the beginning. We'll take it. That kid using a bow. That's bold. I think that was the same kid that was tap firing his Suros. This kid has no fears. He will do whatever he wants. I respect that. I'm gonna cap this zone like a team player.
You captured zone A. Zone advantage is yours.
Get something going. Stay right there. Oh my gosh! Is there a reason everybody's using a shotgun? I'd switch, but that's not what this is about. And we already have 0 special anyway, so. Yeah, okay, it's got some kick. Good kick. It's like controllable kick. Is that ammo? Fire.
Zone B captured. You have zone advantage.
Is it bad that I kinda want on that team? Man, it's just double team after double team. I don't think we can really win these fights. I mean, we're using a trace rifle, but it'd be nice to at least try. That guy's low. We're gonna get shotgun. Audi of ammo and Audi of this gunfight. I shot, nothing happened, and then I just blew up. Okay, that was pretty sick. Let's see if we can get that to happen again.
3 minutes. Hold strong, and this battle is yours.
Okay, we got 2 assists. We're good this game. Hey, we can leave that. We're good this game. Alright, watch this right here. Alright, watch this double team right here. Let's go. We've got a slam. We need to get this off. Had the KD. Nobody get a kill.
Zone A lost.
Just going for it.
Sound tactic.
Hey, this guy's rushing us with a shotgun. Oh, hey, bud. So yeah, 3 down. Wave Splitter, pretty good. I'd say it's the best for PvP. I don't think it's the best for PvE. I would say it's probably bottom tier for PvE. Haven't tested it, but I don't know. It's doing damage. Positive KD. I think Wave Splitter's nice. I don't know if you take advantage of the Orbs of Light perk very much. I don't think we took advantage of it once, but I don't know. It could be kind of useful. It's definitely a situational perk, and you have to make sure you make it count. Okay, so for our last trace rifle, the best in my opinion, we will be using Divinity. Now, Divinity is a drop from the Garden of Salvation raid. You actually have to do a quest to get this, and then you go in the raid and do the raid in a specific way, and at the end you'll get your normal chest for beating the raid, and then you'll get your divinity chest, and that comes with divinity. Divinity does not have a catalyst. It does have one ornament, I believe, and that's what we'll be using. Default, it looks like this. I like it kind of default, but I got the ornament, so I may as well throw it on. And we'll take a look over here. We've got similar range to Coldheart, pretty decent handling and reload. Max stability again. This thing has perfect stability, and that really ties in with its perk. So we have Judgment. Sustained damage with this weapon envelops the target in a field that weakens and disrupts them. Strong against Overload champions. So it weakens them similar to Melting Point or Tether, things like that. However, I read this, and I haven't tested this because I'm not good with math. It's its own debuff, if I read that correctly. It does its own thing. So you can stack this with like a weapons, a well, a tether, and a melting point like tractor, any of those things. It's its own thing. So you can have 3 instead of just the 2 that cancel each other out. So that's something nice about it. Really great in PvE. You can run that with other weapons like Xenophage. It opens up a crit spot for these types of weapons, and it just allows them to buff that damage continuously. You only really need one person running it because overall its damage is pretty low. It does decent damage, but its main perk is buffing other people's damage. So it's got increased stability, slightly increased stability and handling. And then its other perk, Penance, targets under the effects of Judgment. Targets under the effects of Judgment long enough are struck with a burst of damage. Again, mostly PvE. I don't think you take advantage of this in PvP, because by the time it does that burst of damage, hopefully your target's already dead. If they're not, I guess it could work maybe against supers, something with an overshield. But for the most part, this is a PvE trace rifle. Now, I did play one game with this, just to goof around, and it was not good. Now, hopefully it'll go better today, because, I don't know, we're using trace rifles, we're used to it. But, yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot of crit damage, or any damage at all. It's kind of like the damage booster as it is in PvE, except most of your gunfights are just you losing. We're still searching. Ran out of things to say, so I guess we'll just sit here and... oh, I guess we could look at the other Prometheus lens ornament that will finally load. So here it is with that other ornament. We've kind of got the yin and the yang. I don't know, it kind of looks like Play-Doh or spray paint right here. Whipped cream, I don't know. But anyway, so out of the 4, PvP, I'd say Wave Splitter's the best. PvE, depends what you're doing. If you're just damage output, you want to help your team in like an endgame raid activity, I'd say Divinity. If you're trying to add clear, Prometheus Lens. If you just want sustained damage, I guess Coldheart. I don't know, Coldheart, you always want to like Coldheart because it was like the first exotic many people got. It was a classic for Leviathan and things like that. But it's just there. It's just kind of the default trace rifle. Kind of like how No Land Beyond in Destiny 1. A lot of people love No Land Beyond because it was an exotic primary sniper, and those weren't really a thing. But now that, you know, you've got Revoker, things like that, if they were to bring No Land Beyond back, it'd just be a sniper with an iron sight. It wouldn't really be anything unique because we already have primary snipers. I think that's kind of what they were thinking about with Coldheart, is it was unique, and that's what made it good. And now that we have 3 others, it's just kind of there. Why don't we... let's run this with weapons. We'll do 2 with weapons, 2 without. And maybe we'll be able to get weapons with Divinity, and it'll be able to do some more damage, because I think we're going to be needing that damage output, because that really could weigh us down. I found that you don't ever really proc the Divinity like perk, because by the time you get it to happen, your target's dead or you're dead. And the Divinity perk, it's very distinguishable. You'll notice it because it looks like when a Vex is spawning in or despawning, they've got that kind of grid-like pattern, like a bubble kind of around them, and it envelops the target in that. So for PvE, if you're just shooting it at a boss, it'll kind of get this like Vex effect where your beam is, and if you shoot him then you'll get extra crit damage. So you can stack it with like Celestial. I already mentioned Xenophage. It's nice with Xenophage because then you can hit crits, and it does it even more damage. You're using it with like Actium War Rig, you don't need to reload. Really nice. I kind of wish they'd throw in trace rifles with that too, where you could have, I guess it'd be busted if they just did all automatics, where autos, LMGs, SMGs, and trace rifles, but I think that could be a nice buff, because trace rifles are kind of forgotten. I was just going through my exotics, got a comment on the last video, and it was like, hey, why don't you use Cold Heart? I was like, Cold Heart? Okay. So I hurried and upgraded the catalyst for Cold Heart and threw it on, so that's kind of all of the thought went into that. I don't think people really use trace rifles, and I can see why they're not that good. PvE, they're definitely better, but PvP, I wouldn't really rely on them. Now, one small thing about Divinity, it said it's strong against Overload champions because of the disruption. Now, most weapons with Overload, you have to shoot and then a specific bullet in that chamber. So like if it's an auto with like 30 rounds, like round number 21 will have the Overload. And so you have to hit it mid-shooting. With Divinity, the first shot that you hit causes the disruption. So you can just tap something and it disrupts. And then, of course, if you're just laying down with the trigger, it just crits spots while they're disrupted, and that's a ton of damage, so that's nice. Definitely good for like nightmare hunts, endgame activities, anything with barriers, nightfalls, things like that. So, or not barriers, champions, I guess.
Take your guardian's crest.
We got
glory is yours.
Cauldron. This might be kind of interesting. Okay. That's 6 damage. That's worrisome. Let's see if we can. Okay, 7 damage. That's better than 6. I'm dead. I'm only alive because it gets pulse grenaded. This is gonna be a rough one. I can tell. With special. Oh no! We just won that gunfight. Oh, okay. I don't have Ballistic Slam. What am I doing? Can you try and rush me? I have Divinity Scavenger on or something.
You're in the lead.
Okay, so you can see the Vex effects right there. It's kind of like a big bubble just around him, like kind of like a shield for PvE activity. I don't think we're gonna really notice the damage. It's killing decently quickly. I feel like I have more ammo. I don't know why that is, but okay, there's the. That kid just survived a headshot and then died. What is happening? Oh no, there's people right there. There's someone right here too. We're using the spare rations because I don't have the other thing reloaded. We're running. We're panicking. We're running. Shield. We're sitting right here. Why is this guy above me? Does this guy know how to play the game? Bubbling. We're dead. We lasted a little longer than we should have. Are we at the top of the scoreboard? He's crit spot. Oh, okay. That was quick. That was nice. Do you have ammo? Am I spawning with more ammo? I just noticed that. I don't think I picked up any. Rocket. Nice. Got stuck on that rock. Trying to slide together. They're not using hard light Suros, they're using more clip. Can we beat that guy? Yes, we can. Can we beat 3 other guys that just came out of his body? No, we cannot. Man, that guy's sidearms just put down. jump on this guy? Yes, we can. Oh, no. Hey, outplayed. Melons have super. I don't have ammo though, so I'm not gonna save it for a reason. That was a yeah, playing like this is weird because I don't usually commit to these lanes so hard. You have to with these trace rifles. I guess if you're good at that, you get so much success with these. Ooh, that was good. Maybe you just gotta play it like that, just clean up. And we suppressed him. Worth. Okay, yeah, we spawned with 80 shots. Wasn't the other 50, 55? So we're getting more shots per spawn. Doesn't matter because that guy's arc soul just one tap. So I guess that's one thing. Maybe they acknowledge that it doesn't do a whole lot of damage and they gave more. I kind of want to see. Wow, that should have killed him. Any other trace, that would have killed him. Like, contest these. And at close range, it's just abysmal. It's so... I mean, it's like trying to snipe. Oh, I wonder, can you crit spot that? That might be interesting to see. Yes, we can. We got it. I mean, shield there.
5 minutes remaining.
Keep sniping that guy. I wasn't even shooting when that guy died. What in the world? I stopped firing. He just blew up. Okay. Yeah, it's got some weird stats, dude. These trace rifles are just something else. We're dead. Why are we pushing on the trees? Am I? Is anybody gonna shoot that guy, or just gonna watch? I'm always calling for fair fights, but come on. Good. I mean, bad weapon. Any help. Let's get high ground. Where are they coming from?
Double down. That's
Big
why we have
play
fire
here.
team. Good. Your allies know you have their back.
Man, it's crazy how out of 5 people, I'm the one that gets shot at. That's what it feels like. Excuses for using divinity. Tether does pretty good. Suros.
Your enemy can't kill if they're dead.
It feels like it doesn't even have as much range as the other ones. Or like hit registration or anything.
Comes for us all.
Huh, yeah, that's just weird. Yeah, let's check some.
You can
Yeah,
accept this
divinity.
loss, or you can fight again and
Now we
reclaim your glory.
we got the most kills in the lobby. We went positive. Not the lobby, on our team. We went positive. Yeah, we didn't do bad. That was fine. But really though, I would not use Divinity Crucible. There's nearly no circumstance that you can take care of its perks, use it in any way. It's just kind of a trace rifle. Same with Cold Heart. Except Cold Heart does damage. and Divinity does not. So I would stay away from Divinity. Get it for sure. It's fantastic for PvE. Nice collection. But don't use it in PvP. So I think we'll go ahead and just round out this review. Trace rifles in 2020. Should you use them? Probably not. Can you use them? Of course. They've got a decent time to kill. You can play around with them. They're fun, you know, it's like a laser show. They have different perks, so it's kind of fun to mix them up. Different arc, solar void, you know. You can try them out in PvE. There's might be some fun builds that you can get going with, but overall, they're just not in a good place right now. And I guess maybe that's just everything other than autos and things that got revamped and buffed, because with the fast TTKs that are coming out of autos right now, something like Divinity or Prometheus Lens, it's just not going to be competitive. And not every weapon can be competitive, but I think you should try and make it possible so that you can get as close to competitive as you can. And I guess that's the real problem with trace rifles, is they're not competitive at all. And, you know, you might be the one kid out of 10 games that's going to use a trace rifle. But, I don't know, respect if you're using it. You're trying something new, I like it. So we'll go ahead and end the review there. Again, I'm going to put this up on YouTube. You can watch it there, comment if you have a weapon suggestion, anything like that. And thanks for watching. Wolf out.